Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Hari Haraye Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhana Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhana Giridhari Gopinath Madana Moha Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajagacharya Ashtottara Satasri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Srila Prabhupada ki Prabhupada Anoga ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, text 29 of chapter 15, canto 3. द्वारे येतयोर्निविविशुर्मिसतोरपृष्ट्वा पूर्वा यथा पुरट रजकपाटिकायाः सर्वत्र ते अविषमया मुनयः स्वदृष्ट्या ये सञ्चारन्ति अविहता विगता विशङ्काः. Please repeat. Is it displayed? द्वारी ये तयोर्निविविशुर्मिषतोरपृष्ट्वा पूर्वा यथा पुरटवज्र कपाटिकायाः सर्वत्र ते अविषमया मुनयः स्वदृष्ट्या ये संचरन्ति अविहता विगताभिषक्काः. द्वारी एतयोर्निविविशुर्मिसतोरपृष्ट्वा पूर्वा यथा पुरटवज्रकपाटिकायाः सर्वत्र ते अविषम्या मुनयः स्वदृष्ट्या ये संचरन्ति अविहता विगताभिशङ्काः. द्वारी ये तयोर्निविविशुर्मिषतोरपृष्ट्वा पूर्वा यथा पुरटवज्रकपाटिकायाः सर्वत्र ते अविषमया मुनयः स्वदृष्ट्या ये संचरन्ति अविहता विगताभिशङ्काः. Mataji's. Dwari, in the door. Etayaho, both doorkeepers. Nivivishuhu, entered. Mishataho, while seeing. Aprishtva, without asking. Purvaah, as before. Yatha, as. Purata, made of gold. Vajra, and diamond. Kapatikah, the doors. Yah, which. Sarvatra, everywhere. Te, they. Avishamaya, without any sense of discrimination. Muniyah, the great sages. Swadrishtya, out of their own will. Ye, who. Sancharanti, move. Avihatah, without being checked. Vigata, without. Abhishankah, doubt. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Why don't you move forward? Others can sit on the mat. Translation. The great sages headed by Sanaka had opened doors everywhere. They had no idea of ours and theirs. With open minds, they entered the seventh door, out of their own will, just as they had passed through the 6 other doors, which were made of gold and diamonds. Purport. The great sages, namely Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana and Sanat Kumara, although very old in years, maintained themselves eternally as small children. They were not at all duplicitous, and they entered the doors exactly as little children enter palaces, without any idea of what it is so to trespass. That is a child's nature. A child can enter any palace and no one checks him. Indeed, a child is generally welcome in his attempts to go places. But if it so happens that a child is checked from entering a door, it naturally becomes very sorry and angry. That is the nature of a child. In this case, the same thing happened. The childlike saintly personalities entered all the 6 doors of the palace, and no one checked them. Therefore, when they attempted to enter the 7th door and were forbidden by the doorman, they checked them with their sticks. They naturally became very angry and sorrowful. An ordinary child would cry, but because these were not ordinary children, they immediately made preparations to punish the doorman. For the doorman had committed a great offense. Even to this day, a saintly person is never checked from entering anyone's door in India. Om Tat Sat, Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagan Raghunatana Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Arvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. We are reading this chapter called Description of the Kingdom of God. And this is a description of the 4 Kumaras entering Vaikuntha. They have already entered 6 doors. This is the 7th door they are entering. This is the spiritual world, Vaikuntha described. And this chapter describes fully Vaikuntha and how people look in Vaikuntha and how it is made up, what they do. Many amazing things are described. People already speak about the kingdom of God as a myth. We don't know, we don't see it, nobody hears about it. I don't believe it. But the only way to know about something that is beyond is by reading about it. Is by reading about it. Today we can see images, we can see all that by internet, and we can believe fully that there is such a place called Kashmir, there is such a place called Hamas and Israel, war is going on, you can see videos of it, then you believe in it. It is not that you have gone there. It's not that you have gone there. You don't demand to go there to believe in it because you are seeing evidence of it. I know there is. I don't need to go there to prove to myself that this is happening there in that place. Because of reading about it, hearing about it and everything. This is technology. So previously people used to only read about it. Vedas will speak to you everything about different places, different things. Through books they understood. So in that same Vedas it is mentioned about the spiritual world. Krishna is speaking about it. Avyakta Vyaktimapannam. He is speaking about. And then in another place also he is saying there is another world. Parastasmat bhavo vyakto avyaktat sanatanaha yasasarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. There is no vinasha for that place. When this place is getting pralaya and there is vinasha, there is destruction, for that there is no destruction, it is forever. Avyakta, it is not manifested here, you don't see it. But he is speaking about it. In Bhagavad Gita also he says, Yadgatvana nivartante taddhamam paramam mama. Coming to that place, you never have to come back here again. So do we believe in such a place? We may believe in America, although we have not gone there. You believe in Israel, although I have not gone there. Right? This book is describing about the spiritual world, about Vaikuntha. Do we believe in it? Actually, you should touch yourself and see, do I actually believe in it? But anyway, I've heard so many stories. There's also another story I'm hearing. So many science fiction stories also I've heard. Spaceships going somewhere in space and all that. I've heard about that, so I'll believe in this also. No, it's real. First we must touch ourselves and say, this is real. Actually, I belong there. I don't belong to this place. That is another big news. Another big news is, I don't belong to this place at all. This is temporary. In this place I die. I don't live long enough to enjoy continuously. But in that place it's mentioned, you don't die. You are there eternally. It said Vaikuntha, what is it? Everybody there has the form of the Supreme Lord. Vaikuntha Murti. It is mentioned they are all Vishnu Murtis. They all have 4 hands. Have you seen anybody with 4 hands here? It becomes difficult for people to believe when you say I have 4 hands. Everybody has 4 hands. They look same form. Swarupya Mukti they have got. Same Rupa as the Lord. Only thing they don't have is Lakshmi in the chest. Vakshastale. Lakshmi, they don't have. Everything else is the same. They don't have Vaijayanti Mala. These key things, some of them they don't have. Everything else they look like, they all look same form. You will see in the Ajamila Katha, you will see the spaceship comes to take Ajamila from Vaikuntha. In that, there's description of all of them with 4-handed forms, welcoming Ajamila and taking him back. Same way in Dhruva Charitra, Dhruva Maharaj going back to Godhead, placing his feet on death, head of death and climbing into the spaceship. One fantastic Vaikuntha Airlines spaceship. In that there are all 400 people. And they are smiling so beautifully. And Dhruva is getting inside. All these are stories. They are not just fictitious stories. They are real narrations. And so here in this chapter, Brahma is describing the kingdom of God to the Devatas who have gone to him. The Devatas have gone to him because Diti has become pregnant. And Diti became pregnant in the evening during Sandhi time by cohabiting with her husband by force. And she is now carrying in her womb two deadly personalities, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And they are so heavy, asuras, that because of her being pregnant, the whole atmosphere has become dark. Everywhere there is darkness. It's like it is overcast, hellish, because these two asuras are going to appear. Before they appear itself, it is so dark. Hellish, darkness, drizzling, cold, no sunlight, all this is hellish atmosphere. You know, one reporter asks in London to Prabhupada, what is hell? He said, this is hell. London is hell. He openly said, London is hell. No sunlight, always drizzling, completely overcast. This is hell. He explained, hell is like this only. So it was like that, dark, covered. Then all they said, what is happening? Brahma, he heard from them and then he smiled. Then he immediately, by his mystic potency, he knew what had happened. That she has conceived Diti. And what she has done out of her weakness at Sandhi time. And Lord Shiva has taken advantage of that and done the needful. So Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu have been conceived. Two deadly demons she has conceived. It seems she held it like that because her husband told that you will become the reason for these two fellows who will give trouble to whole creation. They'll finish the Brahmanas, they'll do all sorts of crazy things and you'll be the reason for that. So it's mentioned that she decided not to give birth and she held them for 100 years in her womb, afraid that they'll come and create all problems. These are all very great persons. They are not ordinary, small, puny living beings of Kali Yuga. For 9 months itself, they cannot take the load. They will abort. They'll do all crazy things. No, threshold level is very low. Here, Diti is keeping for 100 years pregnancy. How do you like it? Even your lifespan will not be so much. So these are all different type of persons. In a different yuga it is happening. She held it and finally she went to her husband and she said that I'm very afraid I did a mistake. Said, what to do? I told you. But one thing is good. Because of these two people, Krishna will come and kill both of them. They'll get killed by Vishnu. Not only that, the son of one of them, he will be a great devotee. Hiranyakashipu's son Prahlad will be a great devotee. She immediately became very happy. I'll become the reason for the Lord coming. And my sons will get killed by the Lord. Wow, what great fortune. And my grandson will be a wonderful devotee. She becomes pacified. Then she delivers. Now, the story, instead of telling why it is dark, Brahma is telling some other story connected with it. Why? First of all, the other side of the story you don't know. How Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu came into Diti's womb, you don't know. You only know this side of the story, that Diti went and did this to Kashyapa and Kashyapa engaged with her at an odd time and he told her this will happen. Something bad is going to happen. But he does not know the details of it. But when the Devatas came to Brahma, he knew both sides. What has happened Diti side, what is going to happen this side. What happened on the other side? This is the story. He's telling the other side of the story. What? 4 Kumaras went to Vaikuntha. The Bhagavatam is so wide and vast. Each story connecting to the other, all these Puranas. So Brahma is telling a story you may not know. How Diti became pregnant, that is you know. But who is she pregnant with and why? These two people. That story he is telling. So, explaining that 4 Kumaras who had refused, Brahma is collecting them, my 4 sons who refused to be Prajapatis, they got out of my order. They are eternally like children. And they went wandering everywhere. Liberated they are. Already mukti they have achieved. So they went wandering everywhere and they went to Vaikuntha. Small children they are. So through all the doors they were able to go. But in the final door where Lord Narayana is there, they were stopped by these 2 doormen. Now comes the real story. Right? So these people were very disturbed. Why are you stopping us? Six gates we already came through. 6 dwaras we have already crossed. If you want to go inside, see what is this. We heard about Vaikuntha. We want to go, we're exploring. Children exploring. So these doormen stopped them. This is very private area. This is not meant for you. Here Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lakshmi are all staying. This is his inner, private, confidential area in the palace. So they stopped. So all of them got very angry. How dare you stop us? But there's description of both of them standing very brilliant looking, Jaya and Vijaya, Dwarapalaka, both of them. They are standing there very brilliant looking, beautiful looking. They also look like Vishnu only, 4-handed. Sankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma and all that. I don't have all the other, but they have all these other instruments in their hand. So, if you go to every Perumal temple, you will see in the beginning, before you enter, on both sides, Jaya and Vijaya. These are the 2 people. So now they want to go inside that area. They said, hold. Even here it happens. To Koil also it will happen. Darshan velilenda pakananga inniki. They'll say, and you'll see from there only darshan. Jaya and Vijaya, and from there you can see darshan. The last time I went to Tirupati, they said you can take darshan only from here. From far. From where the Jaya and Vijaya there. It happens quite often. But these 4 of them, they couldn't handle it. So it's mentioned here, we don't have any feeling that there is inside, outside, them, he and all that. What do you mean inside, outside, you cannot be allowed, we can go, he cannot go. They don't have the Dvandva Moha, duality illusion. We don't have that. Them and us, inside and outside, all that, they don't have that feeling. It's mentioned in the shloka that we read. That they had no idea of ours and theirs, inside and outside and all that. So they became angry. Because they were liberated persons. You became angry. This is very important point. People who are liberated, they shouldn't be thinking like that. In Vaikuntha, why are you telling this to me, outside, inside, theirs and ours? This is Vaikuntha, beyond the material world. So why are you doing like this? So you both, you don't deserve to be here. You are in theirs and ours paradigm. You should go back to the material world, is what they thought. So they became very angry and said, you need to be punished. You need to be punished because you're doing some grave wrong. Now you must understand very carefully. Did the 4 Kumaras punish because their false ego was hurt? First of all, they won't have false ego because they're liberated. So why did they punish? Their reason was, you don't deserve to be here. Because you're thinking them and ours. And if somebody doesn't correct you properly, you will continue like this and you will create more problem. So you should be corrected. So you should be punished. See, many people wonder why they went all the way there and punished in Vaikuntha and came back. They went all the way to Vaikuntha to punish them. This is important for us to know. When we see anything wrong against God's laws, against progress of humanity, it is your duty to correct it. Sometimes you can correct by talking. Sometimes these people will not listen by talking. Then you need to use other methods. But correct you must. If you are really a liberated person, you must correct. That desire to do so will be there. Why? He will spoil his life otherwise. I must tell him what is the right thing. This is the reason why Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada went all over the world and told people what is the right thing. What is the right thing? You must know. Because I know the right thing. And I see you all doing wrong with the valuable human form of life. I must teach you the right thing. It's the duty of every learned person, every enlightened person, to feel compassion for others who don't know. I know and you don't know, it's my duty to teach you. It's not that I know, you don't know, let me open a business and you give me money, I will make you know. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's how these people think. In the material world, you have a resource, you have a knowledge base. Don't give it. Monetize it. Make money out of it. This is completely wrong thinking. And because you think like that and give knowledge, that knowledge also will be useless. It will all be useless. That is why boldly the four Kumaras punish you for doing this. Actually, one wonder, what right have you got to come to Vaikuntha and punish them here? Who are you? You have no right. Right? Your curse should not take effect. But it took effect. Because Vishnu gave them value. You will see that he will come. Commotion happens. Both of them, arguing. I did this because of this. You should not do this. Why did you do? And all that. So Vishnu hears, Narayana hears about it. And he comes out. He comes out and they get darshan of Narayana. Out of an issue, they got benefit. They got benefit out of an issue. Why? In this issue, they were involved in correcting the two Dwarapalakas. Not correct behavior. Because of that, they got favored by the Lord with darshan. Not only that, they became attracted to the Lord after that. They became pure devotees, smelling the tulasi coming from his lotus feet. It's a very beautiful description. When they see Narayana, they say, wow, I have heard about it. Now I am seeing. And they were looking up and down at him. There's a description of Narayana with his beautiful dress and his four-handed form, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, and his lotus eyes. And he was smiling. When they saw him, everything disappeared, all anger, everything disappeared for everybody, including both the doorkeepers also. Everything became very nice in atmosphere. Then he came and he said, acknowledging what they have done. He said, you are right in what you have done, punishing these two. If at all any of my servants have done anything wrong to anybody, I am willing to cut off my hand in compensation. Narayana is telling. Right? If my hand does something wrong, or it's rotten, or got infected, I cut it. The same way, my anga, my servants, my representatives, if they do anything wrong, as my representative, I am willing to danda. I am willing to give them punishment, and you have done it. Britya aparadha swamino danda. Britya means servant. If the servant does a mistake, the master should get punished. Britya aparadha swamino danda. Swami means the master under whom this fellow is working. He should get punished because he has trained him like this. So Narayana came and said, if they have made a mistake, I should be punished. I'm willing to cut off my hand for that. So hearing that, the four sages became completely enamored. Not only is he so beautiful and wonderful, his qualities are so nice, he talks so beautifully, and he's saying, I will even cut off my hand if they have discomforted you. So nice. They had experience. Simply because they chose to do the right thing. It does not matter as Vaikuntha. It doesn't matter that you are Dwarapalakas. Why did you do wrong? You should be punished. And do I have the authority to punish? Yes, I have. Because I am the person who is suffering on the other side. I am not able to go inside. And who are you to stop me? Who are you to stop me? In this way, they had their own logic and reasoning and they punished. That is how this whole thing starts. Jaya and Vijaya will accept that they have done a fault. Although it is their duty that they are doing. Allow anybody, Tom, Dick and Harry inside Vaikuntha. You stop. Who are you? We don't know. I have not seen you around here. You are new. So show your ID first. Who are you? We'd like to know. Then I will allow you inside. I'll send somebody and find out from Narayana. So and so has come to see you. Is it okay to allow him? But Narayana said that no, they have done wrong by stopping you. And the Kumaras also thought so and cursed. But now, the Lord told them, you have been recognized, you have been cursed, so you have to accept it. But I'll give you they pleaded, how can we leave Dwarapalaka, how can we leave here and go? So the Lord worked it out with them and said that you can either for 3 janmas be my enemy, or for many janmas you can live in this way. They chose that for 3 janmas we'll be your enemies and come back fast. This way, the Lord's Leela opened up. He also wanted to enjoy Virya Rasa. He wanted to fight. So for fighting, he should have some very good opponent. The best opponent is from his own place. He can train them. So he said, we will fight and I'll liberate you. And you can come back after 3 lifetimes. In this way, the 4 Kumaras are instrumental in this whole Leela happening. They are the beginning. They are the actual founders of this whole Leelas. Because they made it happen. And the Lord used them as instruments to have this Leela of Narsimhadev, of Varaha, and as Krishna he comes and Dantavakra and Sishupala he kills them. In this way, in 3 different incarnations, he deals with these Jaya and Vijaya in their manifestations. This Brahma is relating. This is what is happening, and this lady is pregnant with Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. They are 2 deadly people. Now all you demigods better be careful. There's all sorts of things going to happen. And it all starts with this 4 Kumaras stopping, 4 Kumaras being stopped by Jaya and Vijaya. So Jaya and Vijaya are playing a very important role. And the 4 Kumaras are initiating this whole instances, the pastimes of the Lord. So they have a very important role to play. There are so many characters in this place. The demigods sitting and jumping, ajajo, in between. And Jaya and Vijaya accepting the curse and going to the material world. And the 4 Kumaras seeing Narayana and becoming devotees, pure devotees. And then that chapter closes and Hiranyakashipu appear. And there's Varaha's appearance, which we saw in the previous chapter. Varaha comes and kills Hiranyaksha. And then Hiranyaksha is dead and Hiranyakashipu becomes very angry. And Hiranyakashipu, at the funeral ceremony of Hiranyaksha, he gives a wonderful discourse to his relatives. You know, how the soul is permanent and the body is temporary. He gives big philosophy. Then of course at the end of the philosophy he'll say, I'll finish that Vishnu, I'll cut his head and drink his blood. Suddenly he became an Asura. It shows that Asuras may know philosophy, but they'll never be along with the Supreme Lord. They'll always be Asuras tat viparyaya. That also we can hear. So it's a great story with so many things happening and great characters in it. We can learn lessons from everybody in that. Here from the 4 Kumaras we can learn a lesson. When you see something wrong, it is your duty to correct, especially if you're a Brahmana. A Brahmana, if he doesn't give the correct advice, he takes responsibility and karma for what is happening on his head. If you see something wrong and don't correct it, you will become part of it. You will suffer the reaction for that. That is the law. You cannot go without correcting or finding a solution. So these 4 Kumaras did that. You will see that in Prabhupada's Leela, when he came to India, he was very heavy on some of the Indians who were devotees. But in the West, he was not so this thing. He was very lenient, a little more lenient with all the Westerners. But in India, he will say, which rascal has done this? He will be shivering and angry. And all of them will feel this is really Narsimadev, I'm not going nearby. He would very strongly chastise Indians when they did all these things. Without any, and he said, this means Brahmana. Brahmana means when you see something wrong, you must scream and you must set it right. Otherwise you become party to it. This is the way Vedic culture is. Vedic culture is the Brahmins are constantly active, correcting and giving proper directions to all the other Varnas, to the Kshatriyas especially, how to rule, controlling their ambition, advising them don't be greedy, don't be lusty, don't be envious, do your duty. The Brahmanas need to constantly tell the Kshatriyas because they can go off because of Rajoguna. And they keep that lid on them, tap on them. Then the Kshatriyas, they are very merciful to the Vaishyas and to the Shudras. They engage them. Right? One on the other. It's a very nice arrangement. That whole arrangement. They look after, they show responsibility towards human society. They don't think that I have got nothing to do with that. No, you have something to do with that. Like I told you, Prabhupada felt compassion for people who don't know. And he said, I should go to America and teach them Bhagavad Gita. Who will think like this nowadays? Who will think like that? Let him go to dogs, what I care about. I am going to chant my japa and go back to Godhead alone. It's a private, individual effort. No. It's a collective enterprise. Sankirtana bahubir militva kirtayante sankirtana muchyate. Sankirtan, you must always remember, is a collective enterprise. We do everything together, not only while playing Kartal and Mardanga alone. In everything we do together, going back to Godhead also we do together. You have to take others with you. You should be worried about others who are with you. Just like Dhruva was worried about my mother. She was the one who gave me the best instruction. And you look back and see that she is also coming. Same way in Sankirtana, it's also Sankirtana governance. We should make sure that everybody whom we know, whom we have been associated with, that they should also go back to Godhead. The kingdom of God is described here. And it is a great place that is described. So, collective enterprise means that we are concerned that somebody else is not able to do it properly. It's our concern. Human society, everybody should be happy by worshipping the Supreme Lord and they should all go back to Godhead. Very few people even think like that. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada thought like that. Maybe the only person. And he was anxious to do it. Others may not know, they don't know, so they don't understand. But I understand, I must do it. He said that. He said, don't go to my God brothers for any advice on how to preach Krishna consciousness and spread the movement, because they have not understood it like I have understood it from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. If you want to know anything about that, talk to me, and I have written my books, follow that. You will not get correct advice if you go to the wrong place. So, he knew, and he shared with the whole world what he knew. That's why we read in his books what all he knows. Describing the kingdom of God. Actually, most people speak about Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha. They don't believe in Vaikuntha. They don't believe in Vaikuntha. They only believe in that house that they are staying in. This is the reality. This is kannala paaka mudiyirudhu. And I am able to say, this is my real Vaikuntha. My mother is there, my father is there, my wife is there, my husband is there, my children are there. I feel very safe and secure here. But you will die. There's no security actually. You will simply die. You are lulled into a false sense of security. Made to feel that it is secure. You will die. But the real security is offered by Krishna here, like Narayana is offering to the 4 Kumaras. He is saying, invest in me, I am the real security. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayisyami ma sucha. It is such an investment that after that you don't have to worry. Ma sucha. Right? Ma sucha. They have taken that for life insurance. Earlier they used to say that shloka from Bhagavad Gita. I don't know whether they are still saying that. Yogakshemam vahamiham. But they don't say Ma sucha. Ma sucha they have no right to say. Don't fear, everything will be taken care of by us. No, that they won't say. Yogakshemam vahamiham, everything will be provided by the Lord. That they are able to say. But don't fear, we will look after you forever. Don't worry, that they will not say. Nobody can give that guarantee. Only Krishna can give. Krishna is saying, you invest in me, you will become fearless. You will become fearless. Who will give that type of a guarantee? Who will give that guarantee? Only Krishna can give, because he can protect you. He can protect you. So, investing in bhakti, investing in what Krishna is saying, manmana bhava mad bhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru, you have to understand it very nicely. These are not simply empty words given by the Lord. They have a meaning and a purpose. And he's saying it. Please become my devotee. I'll look after you. Because that is what is your original position. You're not asking, you're not doing a favor to Krishna by being his devotee. Saying, Krishna, na unga kakshila sendukitten. I left the DMK party. I'm joining now Krishna party. So for you, I'm doing a great favor. No. By joining the party, you are doing a favor for yourself. You are only going to get benefited. If you listen to manmana bhava mad bhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru. It is your benefit. You become more beautiful. You become God conscious. You become Krishna conscious. You become very happy. Right from inside. That is guaranteed. Ashantasya kuta sukham. Krishna is explaining. You will have shanti. Bhoktaram yajnatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sukhridam sarvabhutanam gyattvamam shantim richati. If you want to become peaceful, you have to recognize me as the original enjoyer. Bhoktaram yajnatapasam. All the sacrifices are performed coming to me. Sarvaloka maheshwaram. Hey, I am the Lord of all the planets. Sukhridam sarvabhutanam. I am the best well-wishing friend of all the living entities. If you understand these 3 things, you become peaceful. So if at all we are not peaceful, we must understand that we have not understood this. People, if they understand God correctly, they should be very peaceful. They will not go around killing each other. Inter-religious war going on. Israel and Hamas. And they are chanting name of God and killing. But why? You belong to another religion. Kill you. Something is wrong, no? In the understanding of religion. You are killing each other in the name of God. God doesn't want you to do that. Whatever religion it is, God never asked you to do that. So something is really wrong in your understanding of religion. So Krishna is explaining that if you get to know me really, you become very peaceful. And if you become very peaceful, you'll be happy. Ashantasya kuta sukham. If you're not peaceful, how can you be happy? Prerequisite for happiness is to be peaceful. How will you become peaceful? By knowing me. Bhoktaram yajñatapasam sarvalokamaeshwaram. Right? When we get to know Krishna, know means knowledge. Then when we start practicing Bhakti Yoga, there is every guarantee that you will be happy, protected, and you don't have to be afraid. Because your Father is protecting you. This is a science. It works. You will naturally, slowly become very, very confident of both yourself and about what you're doing in life. It's because of the presence of God consciousness. Right? So we can take these lessons seriously in life. These are not ordinary, statements made by anybody and everybody. We hear so many statements every day by that person, this world leader said this, and he said that and all that. None of it come true. Whenever it temporarily comes true, it is permanently wrong. You will see that. But these statements are made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. They are absolute truth. They will be 100%, more than 100% true. But somehow we doubt it. When Krishna is saying there is a spiritual world, apadiya, you're just doubting it. You don't believe in it. The kingdom of God. Like that story Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said about the two storks. What do you say in Tamil? Kokku. Long legs they have. They were having a feast. All the crab and fishes they were eating because the water was drying up in the lake. All the fishes were jumping here and there in little water. They were being eaten by these two. But one day they found a very beautiful looking bird, swan, Hamsa. He circled around the lake like this and slowly came and glided and started drinking water. These two cocos with full stomach full of fishes and crabs, burping, they said, Ayye, yaar idu pudusa vandirukanga. He is trying to, we'll have to share with him also our feast. Better make sure who he is here. Is he going to stay here? Or is he a passing tourist? Let us find out. Actually, quicker, ange. They went. Periya kaal vachi kocha kocha they went there. Cocker. Not so beautiful like the swan, very graceful. The swan drank water and this person said, you both, who are you? You looking like one of us. Definitely not like you. Looking like one of us, the swan is very sophisticated. So sophisticated, where are you coming from? They asked. So the swan said, from Manasarovar. What? From Manasarovar lake, the Himalayas. There is lake in Manasarovar. They are asking. And said, yes. You have not heard of Manasarovar? No. It's a beautiful lake, very huge lake. It's at least 1,000 times bigger than this. Really? It's clear water. You can see the bottom. It's hugging by trees all over. Flowers fall down. Pollen you can smell. You can get the whiff of all the beautiful flowers. Nice birds. That bird, this bird, everything. And then the demigoddesses come to take bath there only. And because they take bath, the water also becomes scented. Like this, he started describing, Hamsa started describing Manasarovar. These two were looking at each other. Yenappa, indha mari lake enga irukke? We are only seeing our muddy lake with a few fishes and crabs floating around here and there. Idu enga irundhe? Indha kolam enga irukke? Nijama solrara? Is he telling the truth? Bluffing. We'll check. So they asked, okay, thank you very much for the description. Anga vante meen ella iruka? And inside that big lake, do you get crabs and fish? The swan just smiled and left. They both said, Patya. Allam poi. Come, let's go back to our one day and grab and eat it. In this way, we don't believe in this spiritual world described by Krishna, by all the great sages. Everybody has got Vishnumurti form in that place, and they're all smiling very beautifully. They're all very happy. They're going in airplanes, private airplanes they have. Each couple has got their own airplane. They go in the sky like that. Don't think that there is no material facility. I cannot take my Jaguar, BMW, Fiat there. It is very difficult. Spiritual world and all that, not. See, I'll chant Hare Krishna, I'll stay here only. Excuse me. Like that. No. You will be having billion times greater facility. If you read this chapter, you will know that they are all flying in the sky in very lapis lazuli and emeralds and stones. The airship they have is made out of, right? And they are flying in there, and they have nothing else but absorption in Krishna, the Supreme Lord. That's all described here. But this cocoa fellows in the material world, don't believe. Even go ahead with the crab and the fishes. Jai ho! Let us describe more varieties of crabs and fishes and increase the technology and produce false crabs and this thing, and robots and everything, and enjoy. But this is what cocoa enjoyment. But the Hamsa, he told you and he knows you will not believe. Manasarovarna, you will not believe. Because you are stuck and conditioned to this dirty lake. Your life is going to be this only. This way, actually we refuse to accept the description of the spiritual world and the reality of the spiritual world. It's our misfortune. Prabhupada is the Hamsa who came from the spiritual world and told, this is how it is. This is happening. He's telling and explaining and attracting everybody to the spiritual world. But we are all cocoa thoughts in our head. Correct? Should I believe it? Should I really think this possible? Okay, I will chant 1 round, 2 rounds. I'll chant a little bit because you're forcing me and my intelligence is telling me it may be correct. I wish the intelligence did not function like that, but because the intelligence is telling me it's correct, logically correct, scientifically correct, shastrically correct, so I have to pay some attention to it. I wish I get another argument against it. I'm looking for it. So this is how the mind works. Any argument, can you please help me with an argument against the existence of the spirituality and reality and the spiritual world? The material mind is like that, hungry for any argument. But the truth is this, whether you believe or you don't believe, if you want to be a cocoa in your life, go ahead, be. But the reality will not change. That Vaikuntha existence and the Lord's existence with his devotees will not change. It will be what it is supposed to be. And you can be where you want to be, in the unreality, in the illusion. And you can eat your crabs and fishes and be happy. Sort of. Try to be happy. And somebody will bomb you from the top. Terrorists will come and attack you. Hey, why are you doing all these things? This place is meant for that. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. You can never enjoy here peacefully because it's meant to be like that. Kuncha enjoyment, kuncha shake up. A little enjoyment, again shake you up. Constant, it's designed for that. But there, in the spiritual world, no disturbance at all. Continuous, super duper enjoyment. That is the alternative is offered by Krishna. This is what he is offering you. And if you want to be cocoa, please go ahead. That alternative also is available. Om Tat Sat. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Any question or comment? Yeah. Can you put on this fan or something?
they became devotees. And Jai Vijay were already devotees. So they were more elevated than this. This is my understanding. They were more elevated than this
The
whole group.
mathematics is correct.
So they were not in a position to correct someone who is very superior. And second thing is Jai Vijay, as you told, they were doing their duties. These were impossible. So you cannot allow someone impossible to enter into Vaikuntha.
I told you the mathematics is correct.
And this all happened for a
But
Leela.
the desire of the Lord prevails.
Yeah, but I feel that punishment which is given to Jai Vijay is something not proportionate to be in a material world, to come here and be an asura. And somewhere it is written also.
I feel they both enjoyed it very much because they were doing it for Krishna. I feel they fought with Krishna and all that. You can never get a chance like that to fight with Krishna. Both of them. Krishna enjoyed Virya Rasa and they gave. I feel that they were both very happy doing the service as asuras. These are all my feelings.
Maharaj, but they were somewhere they were not supposed to correct them, right? Their correction is not appropriate, right? And one more chapter it's written, a person even if someone scolded or spoke angry words, the another person should greet them with very sweetly like that. It's coming in the next chapter. So even Jai Vijay would treat these people like this. They would have treated them in a very pleasing way. No, even if they are like Haridas Thakur was not allowed to enter into Jagannath Puri, but he was not taken that thing very seriously. He was being very humble and he stayed near the Puri.
You see, you should know that we have a material mind and we start mapping our material mind, our logic into a situation that is happening somewhere in Vaikuntha with Narayana being present. I don't think it is so simplistic. It doesn't work so simply in that ordinary mathematics. There are too many other factors involved. That's why there is a lot of commentary given by many acharyas in that. Both sides we should know. Krishna is going to enact his pastime. There is no right and wrong and other things when Krishna wants to do something because it's transcendental. Of course, you can think that for everything you will say transcendental here and then my mathematics will not work. It is like that. It's actually like that. The mathematics is good for those people who are sadhana bhaktas. For them you must go through the math. But there's another side to it, the Bhagavatam side to it. The Bhagavatam side to it is that it is by the force of the Lord's desire to perform pastimes with his devotees. That takes priority. And everything else works towards that as a servant of that principle. So just like somebody will say that, oh, Radharani is already married to Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu does not figure anywhere actually much. And there's Kutila, Jyotila and all that he does. But they all figure in increasing the rasa of Krishna, in Parakya rasa. They all have a role to play. They're actually serving. They're actually serving, although they're finding a lot of fault. This is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong, and all that. But that's not given prominence. In Vrindavan Leela, you'll see that's okay. Nobody's bothered about that. They're all bothered about how Radha and Krishna got together and enjoyed. The same extension of that is moral, ethical principles, right and wrong, good and bad, all these things are meant for sadhakas. We should not see the Lord's Leela in the sadhaka mode alone. The mathematics will be wrong for us. Right? So therefore we should also learn that although it is correct this way, it's the Lord's desire that prevails. And there are a lot of elements of transcendentalism and Leela oriented actions in this. So therefore we cannot always say that this is the only way of looking at it. There are various ways of looking at it and those things are applicable also. You see, Madhvacharya said you can interpret the Mahabharata in 18 different layers according to where you are from, what your consciousness is. That is why in the Mahabharata mostly they don't see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the main player. They won't see it. Somebody will say Karna is the hero. They'll say this like this. It's all correct from your point of view. The Lord's Leelas afford that you can be right. And you can sit in your small kutil and think like that and live your own life in the bubble. You're right. You can go back to your cave and sit down and I am right. Oh, what if you're right? So what if you're right? What is the final gain? Right? So the final gain is if we are able to actually serve the Lord in love and devotion and realize the Lord, that should be the gain. For all these pastimes, that is the focus. Good, bad, right, wrong. Why did you condition him? How you can... All those things may be right. This may be right. But something else takes precedence. Devotees understand that the wish of the Lord prevails. He wants to perform Leela. And He is enacting all these things. And all these things are happening. So in devotional service, in the Lord's Leela, many things are different. They are not as per sadhaka's rules always. That's why we are forced to see it transcendentally. That's why when we learn and we deliberate, we actually become more and more energized transcendentally to see it differently. Yeah. I didn't understand fully. You are working back and saying all the demons, their parents must have had intercourse at the wrong time. You're telling. It could be something else also. That's one of the reasons maybe. The other reasons also can put you in the womb. This is only one of the reasons. It's not that all other ways are blocked and this is the only way. To become born in this world as a demon is the only way. It's not like that. So, demons are born out of demons also. Demons, Tanyaham dushatakruraan samsareshu naradaman kshipami ajashram asubham ashureshvayeva yonishu. Krishna is saying, I will put you into lower species of life, push you into yonis from where you'll be born as demons. Ashureshvayeva yonishu. From different yonis you will come out as asura by my arrangement because of your asuric behavior. So this is also another main reason. No, it is not just a conditioning. A asuric behavior is a nature that is described in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Dvau bhuta sarga loke asmin deva asura evacha. There are two types of people in this world, Deva and Asura. Krishna is explaining that the Devas are anukulam. They are on the side of the Lord and they are willing to listen and they like it. But Asuras tad viparyeha, but the Asuras will always be against the word of the Lord. That is one nature, demoniac nature. Asurat tanmai. And in Kali Yuga it happens inside everybody itself. So that nature is very subtle influence, especially for those people who are very materialistically oriented. Right? So it is not only that in the past that you have done something wrong or something. Well, that will lead you to a bad karma and you may not have so much great this thing. But all these asuras, they do penance, everything and get pious credit also. It's not only due to karma, it's nature. Ravana was very powerful. Why? Because of his austerities and penances and everything. He was a Brahmana. He's a Brahminical Asura. You may think that how is it possible for Brahmin to be Asura? Can be. It's a nature. You can get Asuric nature. If you take your Jadagam to the astrologer, he will tell you. You have a Asuric Daiva, Asura and all, he will tell you. You have that shade in it. The Lord is neutral. Even in Ravana's heart, he is there. That's a real thing for you, difficult to understand. Even Ravana's heart is there. Even Hiranyakashipu's heart is there. And he is satisfying what they want. That's when it becomes more difficult for you to understand. That's why it's Asuric nature. Krishna, unless you surrender to him, he is not interfering in your regular course of activities. He only be a passive spectator. Upadrasta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara, Paramatmeti, Chapyukto, Dehe Asmin Purusha Paraha. He is inside your heart as a spectator and he awards you according to what you deserve. But when you surrender to Krishna and become his devotee, then even if you don't deserve as per your Jadagam, he will give it to you. Because he will protect you. He will go out of his way. Horoscope, horoscope and all doesn't matter. Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayisyami masucha. All your Jadagam I will change. Don't fear. You must understand what he is telling. That's what I am telling. But the Asura will never surrender to Krishna. It is surrender that makes a devotee. You read carefully what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. What he does to Asuras, what he does to devotees. To devotees, even if you make mistake, it's okay. He's telling. Because you are my devotee. Asuras make one mistake, ongi or addi. Immediately you will get mistake. That's why they do penances and all that to compensate for that. You should carefully understand this thing. Then he'll say, Savoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshu astina. I am equal to everybody. Ye bhajanti tu maam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapya. I'm generally equal to everybody, but somebody worships me and is attached to me and surrenders to me, then it's a different story. You can't call that partiality. Because that is the purpose of life. You cannot say, if you're studying for CA, then you get your CA, you're very partial here, you got your CA. That is what the purpose of my study here. I'm studying for that only. What should I get then? BA by studying CA? I'm studying CA, I should get the CA. You cannot say I'm partial. The purpose of life is this, to get to me. Right? So if somebody is doing that, I'm going to help him. But somebody is not interested in doing that, and I repeatedly give him chances, still he is not. Tanyaham duchata kruran samsareshu naradhaman. For this case is not like that. These are both devotees come as demons. They are acting demons. They are not really demons. They are not really demons. They are acting demon. Only in this particular yuga it is like that. In other yugas, not Jaya Vijaya coming every time. Hiranyakashipu coming separately. It's not Jaya and Vijaya always. Yeah. How to develop feeling for worrying for others. First we must stop worrying about ourselves. We should be in a situation where we have solved our own problems. Right? Then only you are enjoying your own wonderful spiritual position. And you are very confident, safe, secure and sheltered. Then when you look at others, they are not able to do what I did. I want to help them to do it. That feeling will come. Right? So now what we are doing is, we know Prabhupada's compassion. And we can understand at least theoretically. We are helping Prabhupada to exhibit his compassion. I am not really very compassionate, but I like to help Prabhupada. Like that. We are taking part in helping Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Out of his compassion, he has established his mission and he has ordered us to preach and everything. So we are doing it. Under his order, we are doing. So gradually, you will also feel that compassion for others. For feeling compassion for others, you must be owning it. Isn't it? You can't, feign, pretend to be compassionate. That's all we can do. Why? Because we have not really achieved a state of pure Krishna consciousness. The word knowing means knowledge, because you're speaking in English language also. K-N-O-W comes from K-N-O-W-L-E-D-G-E. Know means I have knowledge. And that is defined by Krishna. What is knowledge in the 13th chapter? What does he define knowledge as? No. Correct technically you speak. That's the answer for all questions. Devotional service. What does he say is knowledge? Kshetra kshetrajnayor jnanam yatad jnanam matam mama. In my opinion, Arjuna, one who knows kshetra and kshetrajna is the man in knowledge. That is Krishna's opinion. Would you like to follow Krishna's opinion? Yeah. So knowledge means knowing kshetra, the field of activity, this body, the world around. And who are you? And who is the super soul, Paramatma? If a person knows these three things, he is in knowledge. Okay? So you said Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they have knowledge. They have knowledge. Yes, they know Vishnu. Only if you know Vishnu can you be his enemy. You cannot be ignorant of Vishnu and be his enemy. So what are we looking at here? Even though you have knowledge, your nature has to be in place. I know there is God, that's why I go against him. Without having knowledge of God, how can I become his enemy? I'm envious. For enviousness, I must have knowledge of that person. Then only I can become nicely envious. The more knowledge I collect about your competitor, the more envious you will become. Why? Because you have knowledge. So don't think they don't have knowledge that Vishnu is the supreme. They have. But they won't accept it. That is what is Asuric nature. That you know the authority and you don't want to accept the authority. That comes out of Asura Tanmai. The Asuric behavior. But there are other people who, no, you say I will do. Because you are the authority. You occupy that position, so I will do. This is Daiva Tanmai. You are Anukula to authority by nature. Asuric means by nature I'll against anybody, my authority, I'll oppose him. That is Asuric Tanmai. You will find it even in the material world. You go to all these big corporations, you'll see what is going on there. I'm getting a good job, good pay, everything, but I will do this politics. I don't like that fellow. Podravana, koncham. This is Asura Tanmai. You go and see, you'll see, you can make out very clearly this fellow has got Asuric quality. He'll be smiling nicely, coat, suit, boat, look very nice, but he is Asura. Nowadays Asuras will come like that only. Coat, suit, boot, nicely dressed, smooth talk, very good at all material things. They'll even give charity. It's all meant for covering up things. Asuras. Yeah. Why are you confusing yourself? What was the statement made? If you are a Brahmana, if you see a mistake, you must correct it. That was the statement made. Now you come with another question. Anybody who corrects mistakes, will he become a Brahmana? That's your question. No. No. In Hamas, they are correcting mistakes. You didn't chant that particular this thing from the Quran and kill. You mistake. So is anything less of this thing? Intention is to kill. But while killing, you did not kill. That is not the way it is. It's not that. Anybody who corrects a mistake doesn't become a Brahmana. A Brahmana is a person who must correct. That is his duty. Lead people properly. That is the expression first. Right? So many people are correcting and learning from the Brahmana and correcting also. They may be his assistants. They're asked to do under certain order and this thing. So many people do many things. All that doesn't mean the original quality of being a Brahmana. A Brahmana is very wide, vast and very broad intelligence. That's the meaning of Brahmana. Kripana is the opposite. Very small, narrow and narrow intelligence. Prabhupada explained it in the Bhagavatam. Kripana and Brahmana. Opposite of Brahmana is Kripana. A Brahmana is very broad. They are very noble. A Kshatriya is noble. Brahmana is even greater than that. They not get entangled in all these small desires and everything. They are very sophisticated in their thoughts. Because it's all got to do with Brahman. No matter influence. So Brahmajanatiti Brahmana. So Brahmana means a very sophisticated, high-class person. So don't think that Brahmana is simply correcting. He is correcting with a view for humanity and society. He is not thinking about himself. So most Brahmanas we see in Kali Yuga are not really Brahmanas. They're not really Brahmanas. They're interested in collecting dakshina. They'll chant some shloka. They'll do some homa. எப்படி சார் ஹோமம் பண்றது? இந்த காலத்துல they'll tell like that only they'll talk. Brahmana will never ask for money. The burden of giving money is on you. He will simply do what is good for you. If you don't give dakshina, for you only bad. And it does not matter it's 1 rupee dakshina or 1000 rupees dakshina. Dakshina you must give to the Brahmana. And the Brahmana, after receiving dakshina, he'll distribute it. He'll not even keep it with him. Because he didn't want to have any possession. He want to always depend on Krishna. So don't think this is like that. You will see in the Ramayana, you will see that Lord Ramachandra will do that big homa. When he is installed as king, he will do this big homa. Then he will divide the kingdom. All the rishis and sages who are sitting and did the homa, he'll give all of them this side you take, this side you take, this side you take. He becomes zero, no possessions. He is not a king now. He handed over everything. And he was getting ready to go. And the rishis said, Rama, what will we do with all these things? We are rishis and sages. What we need kingdom for? You are a capable Kshatriya. You should be ruling. We give it back to you. That is how he started ruling. He started ruling like that. The Brahmins could say, hey, my gosh, 1/4 of the kingdom I got here. Let's monetize it immediately. You don't have to be a Brahmana anymore and wait for dakshina. No. No. They said, what have we got to do with this? They are too sophisticated to accept that Kshatriya role. He gave it back. You do. You are fit to do that. This does not mean that the Brahmanas and sages are superior to Lord Ramachandra. The mathematics is not correct. But Ramachandra is a Kshatriya, you are telling, but Ramachandra is the supreme personality of God. That's not maths. Not maths. The Lord is playing his role as a Kshatriya. You are this thing, I must give you dakshina. And not ordinary dakshina. What you think I am very attached to, and I want to become free from that. I give you this whole kingdom. And they gave it back. These are very sophisticated exchanges. Then you know what is a Kshatriya, what is a Brahmana. They are not attached. So when a Brahmana says, when you say that, it's a Brahmana, person who tells the instruction, what is this, from where that instruction is coming. From a very high class person. So he's not doing it for himself. See, mostly in Kali Yuga, we don't appreciate 4 Kumaras means what? Oh, 4 children, they went up to Vaikuntha and it's not like that. The personalities you should understand. Who are Jaya and Vijaya? You should actually give it due consideration. What is happening, where it is happening in Vaikuntha. You cannot see it with your narrow capillary tube vision and comment on that. You get it? That's not the way it will work. Right? So the 4 Kumaras correcting is a great fortune for Jaya and Vijaya. First of all, that should be accepted. And we guys in the Kali Yuga will not accept. Avan yare? Is the first question we'll ask. Who is he to correct me? That's how we work. Puny, puffed up, so small but very big puffed up. Small people will think like that only. That is why we go and understand Krishna consciousness. These are all very high class, highly cultured people you are dealing with. And the dialogues that are going on are very high class. They are not puny, uncultured dialogues. They can exchange the whole kingdom and give us charity. How much power they have. So much power they have. The Brahmins can curse and throw down the king. They don't do it. They'll not do it ordinarily. To King Vena they did. So many times we told you people are suffering because of you. You are the king, lead them properly. It told 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times. Now we have concluded that you are useless. People need security. Poof! He fell down dead. They chanted mantra, he fell down dead. This is the power of the... They don't have to take a sword and all and fight with them and all. They are very powerful. If Kshatriya doesn't listen to me, I'm telling you, you have to do it. Because the people are suffering. The governance should be good, correct. Now actually that sort of Brahmin should be there. All these politicians will be dead. Everybody will be dead. One mantra, tabak. Yes, any other question? Yeah. Then somebody will ask you the question, show me the Brahmanas. Kshatriyas are bad. Where are the great pure Brahmanas that you are talking about? They are also not there. They are also not available. So Prabhupada established ISKCON, he said, for a society of pure Brahmanas. He wanted to make pure Brahmins. It doesn't matter whether you are born in Brahmin family or not. That is the wrong concept. By culture, by learning properly under authority of a guru, you can turn a person into gold, is mentioned. So Prabhupada said, I am creating a society of Brahmins. Because people should see somewhere this Krishna consciousness practiced. Otherwise it will completely die and they will not believe in it. So he once said, I am creating a society of high class people. Om Tat Sat. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.